Ever feel like no matter how much you earn, you're always struggling to make ends meet? The truth is, it's not about how much you make, but how you spend it. Some habits are quietly draining your bank account, and you might not even notice. In this video, we're going to reveal 17 expensive habits that could be keeping you broke. Stick around to learn how small changes can lead to big savings. Ready to break free? Let's dive in. 1. Overspending on subscriptions. We're all guilty of this one. You sign up for a free trial, get hooked on a streaming service, or subscribe to a fitness app and then forget about it. But that monthly $10, $20, or $50 adds up. In fact, studies show that the average person spends nearly $300 per month on subscriptions they don't use or forgot about entirely. If you have multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Spotify, gaming platforms, and even magazine subscriptions, you're bleeding money without even realizing it. The worst part, you don't even notice the small withdrawals because they're spread out and low. But add it all up, and you're looking at a chunk of your paycheck disappearing into thin air each month. A little audit of your accounts will go a long way. Go through your bank statements, cancel services you no longer need, or switch to cheaper alternatives. It's a simple fix, but it can free up hundreds of dollars annually. 2. Buying coffee daily. That daily coffee run? It might seem like a small expense, but let's do the math. At $4 per cup, 5 days a week, you're spending $20 each week just on coffee. Multiply that by 4 weeks, and you're looking at $80 a month or over $900 a year. Now consider that over 50% of Americans buy coffee every day. This habit is not just a small splurge, it's a money drain that's hard to notice because of its consistency. You might not feel the pinch of $4 disappearing every morning, but over time, it adds up to a significant amount. Cutting back could be the easiest way to start saving money immediately. You could brew your own coffee at home, or at least limit your daily coffee run to a couple of times a week. If you swap that $80 a month for investing, saving, or simply putting it into a high-interest savings account, it's amazing how quickly that small change can grow. 3. Dining out regularly. We all love eating out, whether it's grabbing lunch with friends or picking up dinner after a long day. But eating out too often can easily derail your budget. A single meal at a mid-range restaurant can cost $20 to $30 per person, and that's without factoring in drinks, tips, and parking. If you go out to eat several times a week, that could easily add up to hundreds of dollars a month. The real kicker is that most people don't realize how much money they're spending eating out because they don't track it. It feels like an occasional treat, but when you add up all those meals, it's much more than you think. It's easy to replace dining out with cooking at home. Meal prep is not only cheaper, but it's also healthier and can be a lot of fun. You don't need to become a gourmet chef. Either start with simple recipes that cost much less than the average restaurant meal. When you start calculating the savings, you'll be amazed at how quickly cooking at home can change your financial picture. 4. Buying clothes you don't need. We've all fallen into the trap of buying clothes on sale that we don't really need. A great deal can feel like a win, but over time, it can be a major drain on your bank account. The average American spends about $1,800 per year on clothes, and most of these purchases are impulse buys. Clothes may not seem expensive at first, but when you add up everything you buy on a whim, it adds up fast. Another issue is the fast fashion mentality, where trends come and go, but the money you spend on low-quality clothing doesn't provide long-term value. These clothes might look good for a season, but they often fall apart after a few washes, forcing you to buy more. Instead of constantly buying trendy pieces, focus on quality, timeless items that can be worn for years. You don't need a new wardrobe every season. What you need is a few high-quality staples that work for almost every occasion. And when you do buy something, make sure it's something you'll actually wear and use. Trust me, that's a much smarter way to build your closet and your savings. 5. Driving an expensive car. That shiny new car, it's costing you more than just the purchase price. The average monthly payment for a new car is over $600, not to mention insurance, fuel, and maintenance. A luxury car might look nice in the driveway, but those expenses pile up quickly. Many people buy expensive cars they can't truly afford, thinking it's a symbol of success or prestige. But the reality is, the more expensive the car, the more you're paying in monthly costs and long-term depreciation. In fact, the value of a new car drops by about 20% in the first year alone, and the car could lose up to 60% of its value after 5 years. You don't need a luxury vehicle to look successful. A reliable, more affordable car can do the job without the burden of an expensive monthly payment and the constant worry about its value depreciating. If you want to save more, consider downsizing your car or, better yet, buy a used one in great condition. You'll save a ton in the long run. 6. Not saving for emergencies. Life happens. Your car breaks down, medical bills pile up, or your phone crashes. If you don't have an emergency fund, those unexpected costs will throw you into debt, or worse, force you to make even more cuts to your budget. The reality is, 60% of Americans don't have enough money saved for a $1,000 emergency. Without that cushion, you're forced to rely on credit cards or loans when life throws a curveball, and that's just more debt stacking up. Creating an emergency fund might seem daunting, but it's essential. Start small, put away just $25 or $50 a week. Over time, it will add up, and you'll have peace of mind knowing you're prepared for the unexpected. 7. Neglecting investments. Investing is one of the most powerful ways to build wealth, but many people avoid it because they don't understand it or feel like they don't have enough money to start. But in reality, the sooner you start investing, the more your money can grow. The average return on the stock market has been around 7% annually over the long term. If you don't invest, you're missing out on that potential growth. Instead, your savings just sit in a low-interest account, barely keeping up with inflation. Start with small, manageable investments. Look into index funds or automated investment apps that allow you to start with minimal amounts. Over time, these small contributions will snowball into larger sums, helping you build long-term wealth and achieve financial freedom. Breaking free from these habits isn't about drastic changes, it's about making smarter choices every day. It might take time, but if you cut back on subscriptions, live within your means, tackle your debt, and start saving and investing wisely, you'll set yourself up for a future of financial freedom. Remember, wealth isn't built overnight, it's built by making conscious decisions that add up over time. If you found this helpful, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment with your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video. Take control now.